So wait, what's the rules for Jenga?
Okay, that's not a good start. There's a bit of a story behind it.
We called it the Dare to Ask for Money Award. So you want to intern with us? Oh, your mom's joking. Oops.
Welcome to Game On. I'm Max Maeder. I'm a kitefoiler and I'm a DBS brand ambassador. We'll be having incredible talks with some very special individuals who have risen above challenges and redefined success in their own fields. Today, we'll be playing a game of Jenga and we'll talk through some fun points. My special guest is the one and only Su Shan from the DBS Bank, and she's currently the Deputy CEO. Hello, Su Shan. It's great to have finally a chance to meet with you and chat with you.
Congratulations, Max. We're all so proud of you. And I'm sitting here being really nervous to be grilled.
All right, let's start. Oh, okay, that's not a good start. Don't topple it.
Don't topple it.
Here we go.
Are we on the same team here, or are we competing?
No, it's unfortunately we're playing against each other. So here we go. That's block number 1, and I'll place that right here. Okay, I'm going to do some psychological warfare here and distract you while you're doing it. I found a new perspective to everything and the worldview. Basically, I become a little bit of under more scrutiny and attention.
How many times a day do you get stopped?
A lot of people are extremely respectful. From what I've seen, right? I need to sit down for a couple of minutes before they muster up the courage to come and talk to me, right? I wanted to ask you, you've had a little bit more time to process this than me.
A lot more. You're younger than my son.
How is it like being observed a little bit more than usual?
So I don't think I'm as recognizable as you, Max. Like on weekends, I'm a real supermarket auntie. I'm with my flip-flops, my t-shirt and shorts, no makeup, and no one recognizes me, and I go about my supermarketing. I can escape, hopefully sometimes. But obviously, the role of CEO of DBS carries with it tremendous responsibility. I'm honored, it's a huge privilege. I think we're both in the same boat in that we both want to shine for Singapore, right? We both kind of want to plant the flag for Singapore on the world stage. I would love DBS to continue to flourish globally as the best bank, as the most digital bank, as the most transformative bank, as the bank with a purpose, all that good stuff, and you want to keep winning medals for Singapore, right?
It's surprising the amount of similarities between corporate world and the sporting world in terms of the types of values and the types of things you experience.
So, I was just chatting with Joseph Schooling.
Okay.
And let me get his question for you.
I'm excited to hear what this is.
What's the biggest thing you learned about yourself?
Myself?
Yeah, from winning an Olympic medal.
Really wanting to go out and try again and do better. But
you can't wait, right?
I cannot wait. You're right, I cannot wait. I mean, I'm competing in a couple days already.
You're going to cause trouble.
Here we go.
You are causing trouble. I wanted to ask you, do you get tired? Everyone's asking for a bit of you. You're smiling in every photo I see. How do you keep that energy?
The photos you're taking and the interactions you're making are all really just complimenting you and wishing you well and with good intentions. You could almost do the whole day because you see the impact you've made. It's a pleasure to do. I don't feel...
It's not a hassle.
It's not a hassle. No, you're right.
That's great.
You're right.
But that's all attitude, right? And you've got that in spades. But do you feel because you've been homeschooled, how do you become so erudite and so sociable?
Well, okay, there's a bit of a story behind it. My family has the privilege of being able to help run a dive resort in Indonesia. It's called Wakatobi. There, you almost got...
I dive too.
You should come by sometime.
I will. Come visit.
And there, you almost had like a sandbox for social interaction.
So you're used to talking to a whole array of different age groups.
Yes. And the most important thing was you could talk to them, completely fail, like completely say the wrong things or interact the wrong way, and they leave in a week, and you get to try again with a new batch.
So nobody harbors any grudges.
Yeah. Or at least if they do, they're gone. So
it's a good way to practice your social skills.
At some point, if you receive messages back and they say, oh, you know, it was a pleasure, or your parents tell you, hey, they like you being here, or they miss you or something, you know you've done something right. So you try and do it more, and over time you receive probably less begrudging looks as they leave and more like, oh, bye-bye, we'll miss you.
That's great. No wonder you're so confident.
You know, past few days I've received compliments and these mean so much. I don't know what else to say than thank you. I mean, is there anything in your experience more than you can do than say thank you if someone's giving you such a nice compliment?
Pass it on. You are already passing it on to so many young kids who look up to you. I think you can pass on that positive energy, driving young Singaporeans and older Singaporeans like myself to support sports, to be united in wanting our Singaporean boy to win something. And I think you've done a great job to unite everyone, and I hope that this spawns a lot more young champions in our country. And similarly at DBS, we want to support young people like you. We want to do good. You have the superpower to create positive impact. Oh, I want to tell you a secret.
Oh!
I just started to learn how to e-foil because my kids do it so well. They get up and they go, woo. So have you tried e-foiling?
No, I need to get to it.
You can do it with your eyes shut.
Yeah.
Because if you can fly on it, it's the same thing but without a kite. So you're not holding on to anything.
What a coincidence.
It was my husband who started, and then my son and daughter got into it. And of course, they all got up first time. And poor old mom has to try and try and try before she finally gets it.
I think my mother would sympathize with that. She's been the odd one out for kite foiling in the family.
Really? Oh, your whole family kite foils.
Except
I
the
saw the video of you as a little kid. Boom, and off you went.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Exactly. What exactly do you have as a support system? No. You know what? Since you've offered, please let me hear. I'm extremely curious.
We do banking, which is essentially taking depositors' money and then lending it out.
Yes.
Sounds easy enough.
Of course.
But you need your tech to be resilient, throw in regulations, throw in the fact that you have 18 million customers in different countries with different languages and different rules, and every customer is different. Every customer has different salary needs, spending needs. Every customer wants to have different payments. Every corporate, from an SME to great big MNC, has different needs. And as technology changes, the banking needs of everyday banking and episodic banking and corporate banking changes. Right. So there's a lot of issues that you deal with. Moving parts. Never a dull moment.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I could list again what you've just mentioned to me. That's
why it takes, a very big team, a big family at DBS to each be really good at what they do.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's doing their best. We all are driven by the same purpose, and we openly communicate with each other, and you create this great culture. We make it fun for our employees, and we believe in creating memories for our employees so that when they go back, they remember all the fun times they had with their colleagues.
You have completely reformed my perspective on how it looks like to work at a corporate space.
Well, not that boring, right?
Yeah. What would you call your quote-unquote support system? And what does it look like to have a support system for you?
I'm very blessed. My mom and my husband have helped with the kids when they were younger, and we're very close as a family. So that sort of stable, happy home life settles you, so then you can just go out and do your best in your work life, right?
Right.
And so at work, there are good days and there are bad days. I won't pretend. It's not a walk in the park. COVID, for example, we had some really hairy moments. There were times when we thought the airlines were not going to survive. There were times when we thought the SMEs were not going to survive, the restaurants. But it was then everyone pulling together, saying, okay, with the F&B guys, what can we do? Digitize their menus, make sure they can get food orders, make sure the delivery guy gets paid, make sure the digital offering works, make sure they can collect their salaries or their payments digitally with their handphones. I have clients that said to me in Chinese, 你们是我们的风雨见真情的好伙伴, which means you're the partner that saw us through the storms and the rainy days. And when you come through that together, that's when you know a long-term, lifelong relationship has been forged. So what about you? Like, through stormy seas and all that, do you make mistakes as a result of misjudgment? Sometimes too much risk?
Yes, I have failed. Make a long list. You can name it all. Make the wrong decision, crashed, took the wrong turn, ran into someone.
Well, the thing is, you can't predict where somebody else is going, right?
Absolutely. You cannot. You can't do that.
So sometimes, it's just bad luck.
Yeah. It is. But through all of that, having that safe support system and having that capability to say, look, I can fall back on something and I can go out and try again, allows you to do one thing, which is, I've recently learned a very good phrase from here at DBS, is trust your spark. And I think that fits perfectly.
Trusting your spark also means trusting that inner voice that if you're doing something right and it's purposeful.
Yes.
after I gave birth to my son. I did decide to trust my spark, and with a few other women friends, we set up something called the Financial Women's Association, and that was to help women in finance if they took time out of work to help them get back into work. You know, kind of balance work and family, and to help them also with their own careers going forward. Hey, you're like taking all my turns, but it's okay, go ahead.
You seem to be very engrossed, so I'm just trying to, trying to make the tower fall at some point.
At DBS, we encourage experimentation.
Yeah.
And that comes with failure, as you said.
Right.
We had something called the Failure Award, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. So one of my teams came up with the idea very early on to use AI for wealth management. It was 2014, I remember. And it didn't work. We were too early.
I see.
But we decided to give them an award to reward the innovation and experimentation. We called it the Dare to Ask for Money Award. Although it didn't work out, it kind of spawned a lot more experimentation. And since then, we've come up with, gosh, several hundred AI models since then. And now with generative AI, technology's changed. It's now working.
Yeah.
But if we didn't try then, we wouldn't have known, right?
Absolutely.
So you kind of learn through failing, right? And
you're right.
with so much new technology today, nobody knows, right? We're all pioneers.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's learning together and learning by doing. Let's share our failures and celebrate our successes together.
Final thing, if you had one piece of advice for people who are, chasing their passion, taking a path which may be a little bit more unique, trusting their spark, if you will, what advice would that be?
Take one step back to take 2 steps forward.
I see.
If that makes sense.
No,
so
it does.
Life is not a straight line.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to take a setback to go forward. If you're in a competition and you're trying to change your style, it might mean you don't win for a bit. That's taking that step back, but you're changing your style because you want to get better. I've done that in my career at DBS, and it's worked out for me. Life will throw you stuff, and being able to say, okay, I'll take the step back, stay resilient, and I'll move forward. That's probably the best advice I can give anyone.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. You could not believe how excited I was when I heard that I got to have a chat with you under this premise.
Come on, I was getting very nervous about meeting Max Maeder, the wonderful Max Maeder. But it's been a great pleasure to meet you and get to know you.
Likewise.
Good luck.
Thank you, everyone. We didn't even topple the Jenga tower. I think we begin to try and topple the Jenga tower. Oh my goodness, how did you pull that one out? Wow. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
Without
one finger.
With one finger.
Wow. He's too good.
It still comes out. Okay. How quickly can we
Can we untangle it? Oh.
It's the tower's not falling.
Very good.
Oh!